Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Undertale, and in the last episode we continue on through the Hotland area, I think. Yeah, the last episode we fought Muffet, and now we are here going into MTT Resort. We will be going through there probably next episode now, but in this episode we are going to be hanging out and spending a little bit of time here with Sans, which will be a nice change of pace because we've not done that for quite a while now. I can't remember what the last episode was when we last hang out with Sans, or I think even saw Sans was. I can't remember exactly. I know it's been a while. It feels even longer for me just because of all the breaks. But it has been a while regardless, and it should be a nice change of pace. And, you know, I thought it would be good to do Undertale as the first episode of recording for Let's Plays, just because, you know, I've been away a little while, I'm a little rusty, and I want to ease myself back into the recording process. So I thought something nice and easy, just to kind of like get me used to recording again. So, yeah, in this episode we're going to be hanging out with Sans. Hey, I heard you were going to the core. Yes, I am. Let's see. I'm about grabbing how about grabbing some dinner with me first? Yeah, I'm busy. Yeah, why not? Great. Thanks for treating me. Oh, of course I'm treating, just like with Grillby's. Okay. Over here. I know a shortcut. Go that way. And now we're in here. Well, here we are. So, your journey is almost over, huh? You must really want to go home. Hey, I know the feeling, Buddo. Though, maybe sometimes it's better to take what's given to you. Yeah, I understand. Yeah. That's a good point, actually. Yeah. Down here, you've already got food, drinks, friends. Is what you have to do really worth it? All the dots? Ah, forget it. I'm rooting for your kid. Hey, let me tell you a story. So, as you know, I'm a sentry in Snowden Forest. I sit out there and watch for humans. It's kinda boring. Fortunately, deep in the forest, there's this huge blocked door. Yes, that's the door we came from the ruins. Yeah, I remember that door. And it's perfect for practicing knock-knock jokes. So, one day I was there just knocking them out as usual. So I'd just knock on the door and say, knock knock. And suddenly, one day, on the other side of the door, I heard a woman's voice. Who's there? So, naturally, I respond. Dishes. Dishes who? This is a really bad joke. And then, she just howled with laughter. Like it was the best joke she'd heard in hundreds of years. Yeah, I know who he's talking about. Toriel, and that's true. Think of it. Like back when we found her, back in episode 1, like again, it was heavily implied that she's been alone, like for so long. Like it's literally just her in the ruins. Like maybe, you know, the occasional Frogget or Whimsun she might come across, but they barely speak to her because they're all too intimidated. But ultimately she is lonely. She's not properly interacted with anyone. human or monster in ages. Like she's been alone for so long, just waiting there, just in case someone falls. And that means when we finally arrived, she was hoping that she wouldn't be alone anymore. She'd have someone to look after, someone to give her life meaning and purpose, you know. And it's still really sad to think about it, you know, being alone for that long, you know, being isolated. I mean, sure, I isolate myself a fair bit, but that's optional. And again, I've still got friends, I've still got staff. You know, I think isolation is okay as long as you have the option, like, you know, self-isolation, you know, self-induced isolation is fine, as long as you have the option to interact with people if you want. If you have no choice, then that's when it's torture. But if you have the option of interacting with people, then isolation is not too bad. If you know, as long as you have the choice. So, but Toriel didn't have that choice. She was all alone for, again, probably hundreds of years. So yeah, that probably was the best joke she'd heard in years, because she hadn't spoke to anyone in, well, ages. So I kept them coming, and she kept laughing. She's the best audience I'd ever had. Then, after a dozen of them, she knocks and says, "Knock, knock." And I say, "Who's there?" "Old lady." "Old lady who?" "Oh, I did not know you could yodel." Oh man, yeah, I do, like, yes, they're corny, yes, they're cheesy, yes, they're bad, but you know, I've got a bit of a liking for puns, so you know, these kind of jokes are right up my alley. Old lady, oh god. That's kind of funny. Wow. Needless to say, this woman was extremely good. We kept telling each other jokes for hours and hours and hours. Eventually, I had to leave. Papyrus gets kinda cranky without his bedtime stories. But she told me to come back again, and so I did. Then I did it again, and again, and again, and again. It's became a thing now. Telling bad jokes through the door. See, even Sans admits they're bad. See, the thing is, if you can make bad jokes like that as if they're good and admit they're bad, then, you know, he's not completely in denial. Like, he knows they're bad, but he still does it and treat them like they're good, you know. If you can tell bad jokes knowing that they're bad and still admit that they're bad, then, you know, that's good. You know, it shows that, you know, you're at least conscious of them being bad and just going with it anyway. That's kind of how I am. Yes, I know my jokes are bad, but that's what makes them good. You know, the fact I'm aware they're bad. It rules. All the dots. One day though, I noticed she wasn't laughing very much. I asked her what was up, and then she said something strange. If a human ever comes through this door, could you please promise me something? Watch over them and protect them for me. Will you not? Now, I hate making promises. Now, I agree. I understand what Sandra's saying here. I'm not really a big fan of making promises myself, just because, you know, promises you can't keep. So I'm very, 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 very picky when it comes to making promises. I never make a promise unless I'm sure I can keep it. You know, I keep it realistic. I think about it logically, thinking, can I actually realistically do this? You know, so So again, when making promises, I'm very, very careful about the promise I make. No, I don't like breaking promises, and of course, how can you break a promise if you never made one in the first place? So I don't make promises unless it seems somewhat realistic to do. So again, I don't make promises unless unless I know I can most likely keep them. I mean, sure, there are on occasions when I get a bit more than what I bargained for, and I end up breaking a promise that way. But again, I rarely ever make promises unless I know I can keep them. And this woman, I don't even know her name, but someone who sincerely likes bad jokes has an integrity you just can't say no to. You get what I'm saying here, right? That promise I made to her, you know what would happen. You know what would have happened to you if she hadn't have said anything. Buddy, you would be dead where you stand. Oh god, that's intimidating. Oh god. Oh god, could you imagine if this was a genocide run and I actually, or neutral run, and I actually killed her? Like, if I went to this point where she was the only one I killed, how would... Oh. See, the thing is, Undertale is one of those games where there could be thousands and thousands and thousands of different scenarios depending on who you kill, in what order, and who you spare. You know, for example, what would happen if you killed only Papyrus? What would happen if you killed only Undyne? What would happen if you only killed Toriel? You know, there's a bunch, I mean, sure, maybe not infinite, but there's got to be a decent amount of scenarios of what could happen. Sure, it may be somewhat limited, but there's got to be a decent, there's got to be different outcomes depending on who you kill and who you spare. I always find stuff like that interesting. I always find that like interesting where games have different outcomes depending on your decisions throughout the game. That's always been really fascinating to me. Yeah, it's pretty intimidating. All the dots. Hey, lighten up, bucko. I'm just joking with you. Besides, haven't I done a great job at protecting you? I mean, look at yourself. You haven't died a single time, right? No, I have died at least a couple times throughout the series, so... not quite. Then again, there's a bunch of times in, like, I mean, again, I know I have definitely died, because even without the on-screen deaths, I did die a ton of times off-screen to grind for the Temi armor. So whether it was caught on screen or not, like, yes, there have been on-screen deaths. I know there have, but I've definitely died at least once just to get the Temi armor. Hey, what's that look supposed to mean? Am I wrong? Yes, you are, but that was kind of my own fault because I wanted the Temi armor. Well, that's all. Take care of yourself, kid. Cause someone really cares about you. Can I move? Okay, I can move now. Okay, how's my timer doing? Okay, 5 minutes. Alright, let's see here. Might as well have a little look around, I suppose. Hey, okay, right. As I came in, I realized I forgot to make a reservation. But I didn't want to look like I messed up, so I kept walking in. Now I'm just kind of consuming dew off this ficus. Oh god, yeah, that's a little awkward. Yeah, yeah. I understand what that's like, how embarrassing that can be. Like, when you, like, screw up so royally, like, thinking, oh god, please don't tell me anyone saw that. I mean, you know, there are quite a big few screw-ups. Some more major than others. There is one particular instance where I screwed up royally, but I don't really want to say in this particular video. I don't, you know, it's because it is a little serious, and I did blame myself for it for a while. I'm over it now, obviously, but back then, I did blame myself a couple of years. I don't know, maybe I'll tell that story one day on Stories with Lucky, perhaps, or like as a little side series or something. I don't know, but yeah, let's just say I did screw up pretty bad. I don't want to say in this story, but again, I don't want to say it in this episode, but if you guys are curious about that story and want to hear it, then do let me know, as it could be interesting, although it is a little, it does have a couple dark implications. Well, obviously it was an accident, so it's a little dark, and the fact nothing like, something bad did happen, not like, no one died or anything like that, but well, it might be an interesting, I don't know, this is a story I'm not entirely sure if I want to tell or not, just because of the implications, and I don't know. Again, let me know in the comments if you actually want to hear that story, and maybe I'll try telling it. If I end up getting any trouble from YouTube, like saying that story is not appropriate for this, I mean, it's I don't mean inappropriate, like, nudity or anything like that. It's not that kind of story, but yeah, there's a chance YouTube might not like it. So if I do get any issues, I will take it down, because again, I don't want to risk my channel just because of the story. But but again, let me know in the comments if you want to hear it, and maybe I'll try to tell it a little bit, maybe. But yeah, not 100% sure if I want to actually go through it or not. But let's have a little look around everything else. Okay, it's a potted plant, ficus apparently. Potted plant, potted plant of ficus. Oh, it's a platoon of ficuses. Okay, platoon of ficuses. Yep, same thing. Okay, so these plants are all called ficuses. I wonder if the ficus is an actual plant, or if it's something just purely for Undertale. I mean, it could be. It could be something purely for this game, because the echo flowers like that. The echo flowers made up, so it could be. I don't know. Okay. It's a wall of fame, full of quotes and photos from visiting celebrities. The food is to die for, gorgeous style and fragrance. My face tastes beautiful. They're all Metaton. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, if you look at the tables here, they look a lot like, hang on, I'll probably have something on screen here, but just for reference, but if you look at this table, and I'll have Meraton on screen, this table looks, hang on, there, better comparison. So, yeah, so this table looks a lot like Meraton. If you look, like, you can see, like, there's, obviously there's the dials, there's the lights on his face, there's the wheel. The only thing it's really missing is his robotic hands. That's the only thing that's missing, but it looks a lot like Meraton. So that's quite cool. Let's see. Okay, nothing with the tables. Okay, my watermark disappeared for a brief second. There we go. It's back. Okay. Right. What else? Okay. It's some kind of TV show featuring Mettaton. Is it one of the episodes I was featured in? Okay, it's a performance schedule. Comedians, dancers, Sans seems there's a break now. Oh, okay. Right, what have we got here? Okay. Originally, we dug mazes with puzzles in order to foil human attacks. Oh, my time is going off. Okay. But now, building things, winding and confusing, it's some awful tradition. Oh, okay, so originally they built these puzzles and traps to like catch humans, but now it's just become a bit of a tradition that okay, I can kind of understand that. Like, I mean, that is kind of how culture evolves, really. Like, there are some like customs that made sense back in the day, but you still do them just because it's traditions. I mean, again, the UK is like that. You know, there are different like different customs. For example, the royal family. Royal family and other traditions, like there's some like traditions and customs that made sense back in the day, or like reasons for stuff that made sense back in the day, but we no longer need them. Again, not just for traditions, but just like stuff in general. Like, for example, here in the UK, we have separate taps or faucets for hot and cold water. And back in the day, there was a reason for it. It was because originally, like cold water, like originally like cold water was the cold water and hot water was from different places. Like the hot water came from a boiler up in the attic, which wasn't sanitary and wasn't very clean back in the day, so we had to keep it separate. But things have evolved, things have gotten better since then, and now and it's safe to mix the water now, to the point where some newer buildings are actually getting mixer taps fitted. But despite the improvements over the years, despite all that, despite the fact that boilers are safer now and it's safer to mix the water, it's still done here just because it's because it's how it is, and like it's just like, yes, it's caught on, but not caught on enough for it to become the norm. Like, it's still very, very normal to have separate taps here in the UK, which is honestly, I think that's one thing about the UK that I actually don't like. There are many things I like. I like our plugs. I like the fact our plugs have the switches. I don't mind the letterboxes in the door. Out of all the things about old-timely Britain that has stuck around, why the separate taps? I think that's the one thing about the UK that actually still annoys me. But yeah, that's just kind of how traditions and cultures evolve, really. You can't go 2 feet without being up to your armpits in puzzles. Okay. I work at the core. The inside is a maze made of separatable parts. That means we can shuffle the layout at will. Boy, was today fun. I sure love puzzles. Okay. Hey, Snowdrake, or is it Snowdrake, or let's see. I'm the resort comedian. I'm very funny. People laugh at my jokes. Do they? I mean, there is the whole thing of show don't tell. You can't just say, "Oh, I'm the best. I'm the best man alive." Everyone thinks I'm great. Because if you're saying stuff like that, and it's like you're trying to trick yourself into thinking it's true. If you really are that funny, or if you really are that great, you shouldn't have to say stuff like that. Like, it should just come natural. If you really are that funny, you shouldn't have to say it, because if you're funny, you're funny. If you're not, you're not. You shouldn't really have to say that. You know, again, show don't tell, basically. Now, my son. Oh, okay, this is Snowdrake's dad. Right. Okay. Now, my son wants to be a comedian like his father, but his jokes aren't funny. He tells these awful puns. He's an embarrassment to our family. Ow, that's a little harsh. Ha 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 ha. That's not funny. Since his mother passed on, he couldn't stand living at home anymore. So he ran away. I haven't seen him since. I'm a terrible father. That's not funny. Okay, what else? Is there anything else in here? I mean, I think I've checked everything. Let's see. Some kind of, yeah, I've read up that before on the other one. Okay, so this is a restaurant or pub type thing. I mean, it's got TVs on the wall, so it's a bit more like a pub in that regard. I don't think I've seen, like, maybe there are some restaurants with a TV. I mean, I don't know. I don't really go to that many restaurants, like, I've not been to a restaurant in a while, so I don't know. Okay. Blub blub. You'll have to reserve a table to eat here. You will also have to reserve your chair, your silverware, / cutlery, your food, your... Okay, basically you have to reserve everything. Right, okay. Anything else? Blah blah. You'll have to really... Yeah, okay, same thing before. Okay. Alright. Okay, so I don't think I've really talked to anyone here, so let's just quickly do that. Oh, right, there's the stuff back here as well, isn't there? Okay. Yeah, there's something back here which I didn't check out. Hey. Go check out the creepy alleyway on your right. There's some great deals. Go into a creepy back alley for some awesome deals? Sure, why not? I like deals. I like good deals. It's not. I mean, it's not like there's anything bad that could happen here. No. Hey, check it out. Yeah, check it out. Okay, right. So, I think I will actually talk. Actually, hang on. How long time am I doing? Okay, so 30 minutes. So I can keep going for a little bit. So let's just talk for a little bit. Okay, so talk. Okay. So, like, what's up? Right, okay. Let's see. About you two. About your wares, marathon, alphas. Okay, let's go through it systematically. I'm just kind of like trying to like. I don't really want any exploration or battles in this episode. I just want this to be purely a chill episode, so that's why I'm just going through all this stuff. You know, have a more downtime type of episode. So let's just see what everyone has to say. Okay, about you two. Let's see. I'm Brady, and this is my friend Caddy. I'm Caddy, and this is my friend Brady. Okay, you two. It's like, what's up? Okay, so I think that's probably going to be the same thing. And I'll just make sure. Brady, the friend of Caddy. Okay, right, exactly the same thing. Right. So, about your wares. Okay. Okay, the stuff inside like is the stuff inside is like totally wicked expensive. But like the stuff we found is like totally wicked cheap. You should like totally wicked buy all of it. Totally wicked buy all. Okay, this is the exact same thing then. Okay, oh. origin of new wares. Okay, new. Okay. Okay, let's continue since there's still more. I mean, like, where does anyone get guns or food or America? Yeah, you know what? I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna go there. Us Brits, you know, we have our thoughts on America and the whole gun thing. I don't even want to go there. But we found it in the garbage. That means it's all crap then. It's good garbage, rubbish. It's really good rubbish. You know, same thing. Where do you get? Where do we get the rubbish? Like the rubbish store. So it's the rubbish dump then. All the dots. Waterfall mostly. I found a gun in the dumpster. Oh, skip, I think we call them. Okay, so I think that's the same thing before, since it doesn't say new anymore, so let's go with Metaton. Oh my god, Metaton. Oh my god, Metaton. He's like my robot husband. Actually, he's like my robot husband. Yeah, I'm not doing the voices here. It's too cringe to do those voices. I think we're like both going to marry him. We're both already like married to him. He just doesn't know it yet. Okay, stalkers then. Okay, Metaton, original, new. Okay. So like Dr. Alphys built Meraton, right? Yeah, we knew that already. You know, Alphys did mention it when we first met her, so we already knew that anyway. That's what they tell you. But like Meraton always acts like being built was somehow his idea somehow. And even though right after he was built, he acted like Alphys was an old friend. But they're not friends anymore. Yeah, unlike me and Brady, we're best friends forever. God, these speech patterns are so cringe. Okay, Meraton old. Is that the same thing before? Let's just see. Oh my god, Meraton. Yeah. Okay, it's the same thing as before, right? Okay. Yeah. All right. So Alphys. Oh my god, Alphys. Oh my god, Alphys. She used to live on our street. She used to live she used to live on our street. She used to be like she used to be like a big sister. I mean, like, if you find a big sister takes you to the dump, she showed us the coolest places to find trash. Okay, so that's how you found the dump then, right? Okay, that kind of makes sense. Since I think I can't remember if she mentioned it here in the Let's Play so far, but I do remember she mentioned it at some point during the game. I can't remember if we've got there yet at this point, but yeah. She was always collecting these weird cartoons. Hey! Don't rubbish talk the anime. Respect it. Then she became the royal scientist. Yeah, we haven't seen her in like forever. Royal scientist, new. So Alphys has always thought Asgore was super cute. So like, I'm pretty sure she made Meraton to totally impress him. A robot with a soul, it's super relevant to his hobbies. I mean, again, there was a similar thing in Ruby with Penny, except it wasn't a completely artificial. It wasn't a completely soul. Like it was a bit of, there was a fraction of a tiny bit of Pietro's aura in there as well. So it wasn't completely her own soul. It was a bit of, you know, a bit of his aura to make her soul, but yeah, not completely artificial. So after seeing Meriton, Asgore asked her to become so after seeing Meriton, Asgore asked her to do all the science stuff for him, but nobody has like seen anything from her yet, or her at all. She's like she must just stay in her lab all day. Like live a little, girl. Yeah, like us. Okay, okay, it's changed. About Asgore, new. Okay. About Asgore, new. Ah, God, I'm eating my own hair here. Okay. Oh my God, Asgore, he's a total goober. He's a big, fuzzy goofball. Like, I love that guy. I like that guy. He's so nice. God, we're like so hyped for the destruction of humanity. That's not something good. That's not something good, you know. I mean, sure, I get there's the reason for being like that, but things have changed. Things have changed a lot, you know. At least I think it's implied, like that things have changed in the Undertale world. So, okay, that's about everything in there. Looks like it's Asgore. Yeah. Okay. Okay, right. Anyway, that's pretty much everything there. So let's see. We've done everything in talk. So let's see. Let's have a look in buy. We've got plenty of stuff. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Ooh. This is where all that extra money we got from. Okay, so I think this might be where the all that extra money we got from the grinding in the Temmie armor episode might come in handy because I have way too much money. Okay, so mystery key. Do I actually have enough? Okay, so I've still got room for one item. So mystery key. You need way more money. Oh wow. Wow, I actually need more money. Okay. Alright, good to know. Maybe I don't know. I think maybe towards the end of the episode, maybe I'll go grinding again for Temmie. Like, again, I'll go grinding again for more money in Temmie Village. Just so I can get that amount, again, not for the Temmie armor, just really for that key. Just because, yeah, that might be good to show in the first to last episode. Something else to keep an eye on, I think. So yeah, well, I'll keep that in mind. I'll make a note of that to keep an eye on later. But I think that's all we can really do for the moment. Empty gun, yeah, okay. Junk food, yeah. Okay, I don't think there's anything I need right now, but I will keep an eye on that. Okay, see you later, okay. Right, okay, that's everything there. Okay, 40 minutes. Okay, I think this is pretty good place to end it, to end this episode. Yeah, it seems like a good enough place to end it. So anyway, let's see, save here since it's 40 minutes. Okay, right. Okay, anyway, so that is where I'm going to leave this episode for now. So as always, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for tuning in. To those who are new to me and the channel as a whole, my name is Lucky Star Shi-Roku. It is a pleasure to meet you for anyone who is joining me for the first time. I do have an introduction video on the home page of my YouTube channel. If you want to go and check that out, you can. It's literally right there on the home page. In addition to that, I also have links to my day-to-day upload schedule and a link to my current Let's Play status, where you can check out all of my current Let's Plays ongoing and the ones I have planned, the ones I've done. The links are both there as well. You can go and check that out if you want. So I typically upload on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays at 2 p.m. GMT UK time, switching between at least 2 or 3 games at a time to keep variety. So a few games at a time. So right now we are currently going through Undertale for Switch, Bleach Soul Resurrection on PS3, and I'll be starting a Let's Play of Portal 2 real soon. I did already record episode 1 of that, but that was before the rebrand, so I'm probably going to redo all that anyway. I didn't get that far, so I can probably afford to do it anyway. So yeah, the idea is, so a few games at a time to keep variety. I'll alternate between them at random, or you know, whatever depending on what I feel like ultimately. And then once something finishes, I'll have something to replace it. So it's always a few games going out at once. Once Undertale finishes, I'll move on to the new version of Misao, and then, you know, once the other games finish, I'll think about it closer to time. But again, that's where I'm going to leave this episode for now. So as always, thank you guys for watching, thank you for tuning in, and with all that said, I will see you guys in the next episode. Until then, have a good day, you guys.